first started writing this piece, I set out to find some early 20th century transcendentalist American poetry because I was looking for a lot of really rich imagery and also very melodic and, texts that had really beautiful sounds just in the words themselves. So the first poem is called Nocturne, and it's written by Madison Colline. It's all about dusk falling and twilight coming and all of the little animals and sounds that you would hear at that time of day. So I really wanted to pull people into this experience and this place that they could imagine themselves being in. So it's funny though, because the piece starts as sort of this kind of hip-hop beat, and that stems from my interest. Like when I was a teenager, I would go dancing a lot, so the idea of night music I wanted to sort of translate into a more personal and modern, iteration. And the second movement is just completely a fantasy dream sort of section. And the text for that one is from 1913, a group of poems called Peacock Pie, written for children. So it's kind of goofy, and it starts out naming different types of light, and from there it just goes into this whole crazy nightmare dream world, and eventually it comes back and settles down. And the third movement, I actually worked with one of my good friends who's a playwright named Adara Myers, and that one is more about coming full circle to the lighter side of things, really joyful at times, and it changes kind of on a dime, shifting moods and sections, and it's definitely more of a pop song. Less art song, more just straight up pop song, rock band kind of sound.
I really need to pay attention a lot as to what's going on with the conductor, because I get into a habit of listening to the electronic part, especially if there's something rhythmic happening. And then I even noticed the ensemble today was going with what was happening with the electronics when the click track was not completely in sync with what we were listening to. So that's a challenge, at least for today when we first ran through everything. So there's tongue slaps where you slap your tongue between your lips and make a percussive sound without making any actual tone on the flute, and so you just go like that. And then there's a jet whistle, which is one of the oldest extended techniques on flute, and you just put your mouth over the head joint and then just blow into it, and it makes this really fantastic loud kind of sound, which I really love doing. She only has it written once, which is I would love to do it all the time.
I think it's a really good piece, but I think it's also a very fresh sound.
Yeah.
And I think it's dealing with components that are very tangible, and a lot of other composers are also working with them. They're very dangerous, and I feel like this piece it incorporates them in an extremely effective way.
Yes.
It's pulling off quite a feat, I think, to make this successful piece.